Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3.
They got 31 in the meeting. Yeah.
That right. Is that more guy? We ain't got a signal? What? You getting signal up there?
Yeah. We're putting a signal.
Huh?
We're putting a signal, making you have to count down. But we try to bypass it.
Order! Yards! Dress it! For the right! Right! Drift! To the lane, to the lane, to the lane. Right!
Brantley.
Stand at ease!
Wait, amigo.
Sir!
Yeah.
Listen in the center.
Head up to orange.
Wait, order!
Yeah, man. Yeah, I know. Shoot. Is this the only camera with the runway shot?
Stand still! No! Footman! Yes! Yes!
This comes off, look, right?
Hey, wait, is that?
California. Well, viene.
President Tsai in.
Up on a. What?
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the plane. Lake. Let me go. Lake, let me go.
Okay, Tia, send it down.
Theo, send it down.
California.
Good evening
Shut
to our viewers
up.
and listeners to ZIZ Television, ZIZ Radio, and those abroad listening and viewing on ZIZonline.com. Welcome to our live broadcast this evening from the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport. I am Grell Brown of the ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, and I'm joined this evening by Veer Galloway, and we're bringing a live coverage of the arrival of the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, Her Excellency Tsai Ing-Wen, to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Veer, good evening.
Good evening to you, Well. Good evening to our listeners and viewers to ZIZ Radio and the television. Quite a breezy evening here at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport as we bring you live coverage of the arrival of the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan. And we've just seen the plane landing here at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport. On the tarmac right about now, we have the dignitaries who will be welcoming the president. We've seen members of cabinet and other dignitaries, and well, I understand that on that flight will be over 100 and with over 100 supporters to the president.
Yes, Veer, on board this evening, the delegation accompanying President Tsai comprises of approximately 80 staff and support members for the president, a Taiwanese press pool of 31 journalists, and 15 tour operators who are here to have consultations with tourism stakeholders in St. Kitts and Nevis about our tourism product. There, as we see, the Guard of Honor has been assembled, comprised of members of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force, the Coast Guard unit, and the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. We are awaiting the taxi of the 747 China Airline aircraft and the start of the arrival ceremonies here at Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
Yes, Grell, there will be a military salute and the welcome ceremony. The members of the local embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan, they are all here. They are awaiting the arrival of their president. They're all excited as well, Grell, and of course they would be.
Yes, there were a number of them with welcoming signs. They're carrying the flag of both Taiwan and St. Kitts and Nevis, and they're really excited to be able to show off what has become their home for a few years to their president. This visit by President Tsai marks the third visit of a Taiwanese head of state to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. There were other visits, I think in 2008 and one in 2013. This visit of President Tsai began with the first of two stops in the United States, having visited New York, and then on her way back from the Caribbean, she'll visit Denver, Colorado. On leaving St. Kitts and Nevis, President Tsai will visit St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Haiti, three other diplomatic allies here in the Caribbean. This portion of the visit there has been dubbed the visit to the Three Saints.
And of course, Grell, the four islands in the Caribbean that they'll be visiting is a signal honor to the Republic of China, Taiwan, because of the democratic stance of those countries, and they are in full support of those countries.
Yes, Veer. When it was announced that President Tsai will be visiting diplomatic allies in the Caribbean, the former ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis, now the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Miguel Tsai, said that the visit to the Caribbean is a journey of freedom, democracy, and sustainability.
And we are seeing in the background, Grell, the China Airlines as it make its way to parking area here on the tarmac at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
There earlier I said it was a 747. It is not. My mistake. I was a little bit presumptive there. This seems to be if my memory serves me right, an L-10. The aircraft is slowly taxiing on the parking apron.
Quite a huge aircraft.
Yes, it is.
Well, and of course, these are the types of aircraft that the president travels in. Understand that he went to New York before coming to St. Kitts.
Yes, and had meaningful discussions with the heads of missions for the islands that she would be visiting on this tour at the United Nations.
And I don't know if you know, well, she also studied in the United States.
Yes, she studied at Cornell University, receiving, I think, a master's in law.
And during this visit, the delegation will visit Taiwan's various cooperative programs helping to promote sustainable development in these countries as we work to achieve the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. That's according to an official coming out of the Republic of China Taiwan Embassy.
Yes, Fair, the visit by the president is packed here in St. Kitts and Nevis with calls on His Excellency the Governor General, Sir S.W. Tapley Seaton, the Prime Minister, a visit to Nevis, where not only there'll be meetings with the Premier and other Nevis Island administration officials, but also the groundbreaking ceremony on Sunday of the park in Pinnis Beach. A number of receptions will also be held, and the President will visit all of the historical sites in the Federation, Brimstone Hill, the Barclay Memorial, and the like. The relationship between our two countries, St. Kitts and Nevis and the Republic of China, Taiwan, is strong, 36 years strong, with the Republic of China establishing diplomatic relations with the newly independent St. Kitts and Nevis in 1983. That steadfast relationship between our two countries there is one that is clearly built on mutual respect, shared ideals, and the belief that every democracy should have a voice.
And of course, well, the footmarks of the Republic of China Taiwan is all over St. Kitts and Nevis. We could mention the ITC Center at the industrial site, the agricultural technical mission here as well as other areas where they have given support to St. Kitts and Nevis.
You know, Veer, when you look at the contribution of our relationship with the Republic of China Taiwan, you've mentioned agriculture, you've mentioned information technology, you've mentioned a number of other areas. Recently, we've seen a significant amount of support for the improvement of healthcare and our healthcare management systems. In addition to that, Veer, we cannot overlook, we must highlight the contribution to our human development with the provision of scholarships for hundreds of students going over to the Republic of China Taiwan to pursue careers in a number of areas and coming back and making valuable contributions to the development of St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as to the other allied countries in the region.
And well, we must mention the support given to ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation as well. A number of us had the opportunity to travel to Taiwan. It was just recently 2 members of our news department visited Taiwan.
Yes, Veer. And you know, these visits, not only for our ZIZ staff, but for other persons in a number of areas here in the Federation, gives a better understanding of what Taiwan and its people are all about. And you can clearly see when you go on those visits why they are the way they are. That sense of pride in their nation, that sense of willingness to help. And we in St. Kitts and Nevis, we do appreciate that, Veer.
And just to remind our viewers and our listeners that we are here at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport to welcome the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to St. Kitts and Nevis. She will be visiting both islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, right now we have a lot of dignitaries who arrived quite early to welcome the President, the members of Cabinet and supporting staff as well, and the supporting staff of the embassy here in St. Kitts and Nevis. They're all here and rearing to go. We are awaiting the President to leave the aircraft, and as we mentioned earlier before, she's been supported by
Over 80 staff members.
and out of that 80 staff members, the press,
Plus,
Yeah.
on board, 31 members of the Taiwanese media, print, broadcast, the media in general, and 15 tour operators
yes.
coming to see what St. Kitts and Nevis has to offer.
So that means there'll be lots of publicity for St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yes, Veer. Yes.
And President Tsai, who was of Hakka descent, was one of 9 children born to a wealthy business family. She spent her early childhood in coastal southern Taiwan before going to Taipei, where she completed her education. She received her law degree, as you mentioned, well, in 1978 from the National Taiwan University in Taipei, and then attended Cornell University, New York, and the London School of Economics, earning respectively a master's in 1980, doctorate in 1984, degrees in law, and then returning to Taiwan, where until 2000 she taught law at universities in Taipei.
You know, Veer, we must highlight as well that President Tsai is the first female president of the Republic of China Taiwan, having been elected to office in May of 2016. You know, Veer, as we spoke about the contributions to the development of St. Kitts and the Nevis by their assistance by the Republic of China Taiwan, as I looked back a few moments ago, the solar farm,
Yes.
the solar farm right here at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport, and the one on the Frigate Bay Road shows the assistance that we are receiving from Taiwan with regards to our national development. We understand that the journey to green energy has to take place, and the Taiwanese are showing us guiding us in accomplishing or weaning off of fossil fuel.
What we are seeing now, Grell, is the members of the press crew and other supporting staff leaving the aircraft and going to their vehicles to join the convoy. We are still awaiting the president, who should be disembarking the aircraft behind us at any moment now. But it's a big press crew, as we told you before, and they are now picking up their positions on the tarmac.
Yes, there. As the Defense Force prepares themselves for the rendering of honors, Prime Minister Harris is here. Other members of the cabinet, other government officials are here. Prime Minister Harris just visited the Republic of China, Taiwan in April. It was a very, very meaningful visit, a visit where he was awarded a medal by the people and government of Taiwan. What was that medal again?
Yes, he received that medal, and he was welcomed to that country with a big welcome reception as well.
Yes.
And we've been speaking earlier, Grell, about the contribution of the Republic of China, Taiwan to St. Kitts and Nevis. It's evident here right now on the tarmac, where we see some new police vehicles that were recently presented to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis by the Republic of China, Taiwan. And this is, I think, the second set of vehicles, and they are here in the convoy that will be with the president.
Yes, Veer. And speaking of that award for Prime Minister Harris, it was the Order of Propitious Cloud with Special Grand Cordon, one of Taiwan's highest orders, and it was conferred to him as a foreign head of government. The award was bestowed at a state banquet in the Presidential Office Plaza in Taipei. A 19-gun military display was then offered by the Taiwanese Military Guard of Honor.
And, well, the Premier of Nevis, who is the Foreign Affairs Minister, he recently visited the Republic of China, Taiwan as well.
Yes, Veer.
President Tsai became involved in government service. I think it was in the 1990s, Grell, when she was appointed as a trade policy advisor in the administration of the then President Lee Teng-hui. A significant achievement during that time was a major role in the negotiations that paved the way for Taiwan to join in 2002 the World Trade Organization. And right now, well, as we look at the aircraft, they are preparing for the president to disembark the aircraft at this time. A number of supporting staff and members of the Taiwanese embassy are at the bottom of the stairs awaiting the arrival. And of course, as we said before, the Guard of Honor is waiting to welcome the president. The Guard of Honor made up of members of the St. Kitts and Nevis Defense Force and the Coast Guard as well, and the Royal St. Christopher and the Nevis Police Force.
The Guard of Honor is under the command this evening of Captain Lapsey with the Subaltern Inspector Sutton of the Royal St. Christopher Nevis Police Force. The color detail, the officer in charge is Lieutenant Connor. We see Prime Minister Harris being escorted by the uniform heads to the aircraft. And we see the President and members of our delegation disembarking the aircraft. Introductions are being done by the Taiwanese ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis. President is greeting members of the St. Kitts and Nevis welcoming party, and he's being escorted now by Prime Minister Harris. to receive honors from the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, the Guard of Honor.
Quite a sight here at the
Guard of
RLB
Honor.
International Airport, and of course our
General
viewers
salute.
will be able to see what we are speaking about at this time.
Arms.
We've just heard the rendition of both national anthems, the national anthem of the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the national anthem of St. Kitts and Nevis. The President is being invited to inspect the Guard of Honor by the Commander of the Guard this evening, Captain Jervin Lapsey. The units on parade this evening in this Guard of Honor, they're looking exceptionally sharp. But I want to commend the band for an outstanding rendition of the national anthem of the Republic of China, Taiwan. It was exceptionally done. This is an impressive
Thanks for inspecting the guard of
first
honor,
impression
Madam President.
for the Taiwanese president here in
Permission to
St.
carry on
Kitts,
with the main
looking at this sharp
Madam President.
guard of honor on display this evening.
Well, there's a cool breeze blowing across the tarmac at this time, adding to this
Guard of honor!
welcome ceremony here at the
Shoulder!
Robert Roland Bradshaw International Airport. If you've just joined us, this is ZIZ Radio and the television via Galway, along with Well Brown, bringing to you the commentaries here at RLB as we welcome the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, to St. Kitts and Nevis. And of course, she'll be leaving for Nevis in the morning, well, where she'll be performing or attending a number of ceremonies over there before coming back down to St. Kitts and doing likewise.
Yes, Via. One of the events on Nevis tomorrow is the groundbreaking ceremony for a park, a recreational park in the Pinnis area, on your way down to Sunshine and the other bars on the strip, on that, what we can call the Nevis Strip. And some of the facilities there would be a walking course, a water park, as well as outdoor concert areas. So it's going to be an impressive development there in Nevis. The groundbreaking is tomorrow morning while the president is there. The president, accompanied by Prime Minister Harris, now being introduced to the members of the Federal Parliament, Senior Minister Amory, Foreign Minister Brantley, Minister Hamilton, Minister Liburd. I see the Cabinet Secretary. I see Her Excellency Yasmin Huggins, the ambassador. St. Kitts Nevis is the ambassador to the Republic of China, Taiwan. And he's now being introduced to, Prime Minister Harris is being introduced to members of President Tsai's delegation. And the introductions are continuing here on the tarmac at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
The members of the press fully represented here tonight at the RLB International Airport, capturing the footage and the pictures for prosperity. And what we are seeing now on screen, Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, continuing to greet and introduce the President to the local dignitaries and foreign dignitaries as well, who are here to welcome the President. And the persons who are responsible for transporting the press and the other members of the delegation are in place and awaiting the start of the convoy towards the Marriott, I think.
Yes, the Marriott.
And here now we are seeing the flags of the Republic of China, Taiwan being waved as the President greets some of the persons from the embassy living here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Via, as I look at this arrival this evening. Yes, there's a student from the Clarence Fitzroy Bryan College who is presenting a bouquet of flowers to President Tsai.
Shoulder on!
And they're engaging in a little chatter.
Fall out! Colors! Guard of honor! Freezing!
Must be a very proud moment for that student.
Yes.
Who just presented the bouquet.
And you can tell by her smile.
Yes, yes.
You know, but Via, as I was saying earlier, commendation must be given to the committees that are formed for events like these. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kay Bass, and her team, they do exceptional work at these types of events. And they do it and make it look effortless. This Herculean task of welcoming foreign heads of state to St. Kitts and Nevis.
Get up, honor. Soldier.
And they are now taking a photo up before the President of the Republic of China, Taiwan, goes into her official vehicle, which she is doing right now. Everyone is getting themselves organized and in place as the convoy
Well, unfixed.
getting ready to leave the RLB International Airport. And it was quite a pleasant welcome ceremony here at the RLB. And of course, I know that a number of persons would be lining the streets just outside the airport to get a view of the convoy as they are now leaving the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport.
The convoy is leaving. The Guard of Honor is still assembled. The local Taiwanese delegation here at the airport, they're being interviewed by the members of the visiting Taiwanese media, and they're taking the opportunity for a good photo op. We see mingling between local members of government and the visiting Taiwanese. And there, the Taiwanese president is here, visiting the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, solidifying the relationship that our two countries have had since 1983. Her visit there to the Federation, as well as to the other diplomatic islands, the countries in the Caribbean, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Haiti, is being done as a gesture in support of freedom, democracy, and sustainability. Via the relationship that Republic of China, Taiwan, and St. Kitts and Nevis has is a very strong relationship, and it will continue to grow in strength to strength. I think once the President finishes her visit here, she will see why that relationship continues to grow. There's a genuine love between our people and the people of the Republic of China, Taiwan.
And, well, of course, a lot of planning went into this event. She'll be spending 3 nights on St. Kitts and Nevis before leaving the Twin Island Federation. And as you heard before, tomorrow the President's convoy will be leaving St. Kitts Marriott for Timothy Hill, making a brief stop there, and then onto the Christoph Harbour Marina, where she'll be taking the water taxi for Oli Bipe in Nevis, where there'll also be a welcome ceremony. And we anticipate that is going to be quite impressive, as well as the Nevisian public come out to welcome the President.
Oh yes, Vic. Oh yes. We're now seeing the march off of the Guard of Honor. We're seeing the departure of Prime Minister Harris, and the members of the media who accompanied Prime Minister Tsai, who arrived with Prime Minister Tsai. They're now boarding their buses in preparation for their journey to the St. Kitts Marriott. There, it was a wonderful night, a short but significant ceremony. Again, highlights the relationship that St. Kitts and Nevis has with the Republic of China, Taiwan. A great visit for a head of state coming to St. Kitts and Nevis, her first visit. Hope it's not her last. And I hope that the meetings would be very, very fruitful and continue to solidify the great relationship that our two countries have. On behalf of Veer Galloway and all of our broadcast team here at the Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw International Airport, as well as Theo Clark in our studio and David Smith in the television control room, Keith Lake, our technician, we want to say thank you for joining us and have a pleasant rest of the evening. We now return you back to Master Control.